The following presentation is brought to you by kmmedia.pro. Please visit kmmedia.pro for more information. Now stay right where you are as we present Welcome to Positive Talk Radio, evolving ideas, one conversation at a time. Great guests, dynamic stories and interviews, plus new thoughts on a wide range of topics and concepts. I hope that you'll hang with me, Kevin McDonald, my friends, and of course, you. As together we work to understand why we are all here and what we can do to make our world a better place for all of us. To be happy, be kind, and live in peace together. Yep, that's Positive Talk Radio. And welcome to Friday. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It is noon in town, so I hope that if you're out going to get something to eat for lunch, that you'll go to a drive-in and then hang out with us for the hour, because we've got a great show for you, especially if you happen to be one of those 50% of the population that happens to be like a woman. Because we've got a great show. We've got a great show. I was hoping that Dana would be here. We'll see if she manages to arrive. But Nathan, how are you?
I'm doing good, and you're totally right about that. If Dana Parker doesn't show up, this could be a very interesting radio hour. I mean, typically when you have makeup shows, you have a bunch of women talking with each other, but now we have two guys and the owner of a really great beauty supply that is excited to be on the show, and we're excited to hear from. So we'll see if we can handle, talking about makeup here, me and you, Kevin.
I know. I was trying to get stiletto heels on it for my Saturday night excursions, and I can't find a 12 double wide E kind of thing, so I can't even get stiletto heels, and so I don't wear makeup either. So there. But Kim Roxie is with us. She is the CEO of I'm going to have you say it so that I don't screw it up. Welcome to the show, Kim.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. And it's Lamique Beauty.
Lamique Beauty. And if you go to lamiquebeauty.com, you can find out all about her and everything that she does. And by the way, I have to tell you, I just love the work that you do and the values of your company. They're so in line with what I do here on Positive Talk, which is love and makeup. Well, I don't do the makeup part, but love and makeup and kindness. Lamique Beauty is a vegan makeup line made with natural and organic ingredients for multicultural women. And I love your value statement. Did you write this, by the way?
Yes. And even though you don't do makeup, it's all about what you're made of, right? And so I think, to your point around the Positive Talk Radio, is that you are made up of love and kindness. That's how you have the outcomes and the outputs that you do.
Well, thank you very much. I agree with that. And your values are, just like mine, be kind to people. Yes. You support and celebrate women in all their glory, which I wholeheartedly concur with. That we're having a bit of a problem with equality in this country and stuff like that, and I think women need to be celebrated in all their forms. And you do it really well with a natural makeup product, correct?
Correct. So we use natural ingredients. And we also just use ingredients that we would use on ourselves. So we just try to be integral about what we're using. We like to be very transparent about what we're using. So on our website, you can actually click our ingredients and find out what they're derived from. So even if it's just like a chemical or whatever the case might be, you can see exactly what it is. And I think that's the part that's just very important. It's just knowing what you're using.
And help me here. I wish Dana was here because she could answer this question, which would be, do women, when they are looking for makeup products, do they actually look at the ingredients that they're putting on their face?
Now they are. For a long time, we didn't. For a long time, we had no idea until sort of the curtain got pulled back because of just different health issues that came up in women. Then a lot of research started to be done. And then that's when people just started to figure it all out. So for me personally, it was a couple reasons why I started looking at what was inside of makeup. I had started working at a makeup counter when I was in college. That's how I even landed in this industry. And I opened up my own makeup shop in Houston when I was 21, and I ran that for 14 years. And during that time, my mom was like the main person who believed in me. She gave me $500 to open up this store. Well, my mom ended up developing metastatic breast cancer. My mom wore makeup every day before I even became, before I was even 21. When I was young girl, I just remember my mom always put on her makeup. She wore makeup every single day. And when we started to do the research around the link between parabens that can be found in any personal care product, so this is for men or women, whether it's deodorant, body lotion, shampoo, makeup, mascara. So we saw the link between parabens and tumors. A lot of research was coming out about that. So we stopped using anything like with parabens in it. And so with the makeup, I was like, I got to create a makeup line that doesn't have parabens in it, because my mom can't use anything like that. I don't want any other woman using anything like that. And that's why I started to create no talc in our products, all of these different kind of things. And so if you look at the research, 75% of beauty products that are marketed to women who look like me, deeper skin tone women, they're toxic, 75% of them that are marketed to us. All the way across the board, there's an issue around what's inside of makeup. And so it's not a regulated industry. You pretty much can do what you want, to be honest, quite frankly. And so at Lamique, we're just taking a stance on what we use, what we don't use. And that's the reason why. So yeah, women are paying more attention because women are having autoimmune diseases like lupus, and then like thyroid, and cancer, unfortunately, is becoming more and more common. And so people care about what they're putting on their skin now.
It's amazing to me that, and Nathan, even though you're a dude, I would implore your input. I think it's amazing that, and what Kim said is that basically it's what you're putting on your face is a non-regulated product, which means there ain't nobody looking out to make sure that there aren't cancer-causing ingredients in the product. And sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, Kim, but sometimes the ingredients are not even spelled out on the label.
Right.
So
they're not even there.
So they're there, but they're not there. If that,
right.
If that makes any sense. But yeah, it also works for men too, because we use, I use
shaving products, you use hair gel, you use any type of grooming product, shampoo, conditioner. It's all in the same category.
Boy, I tell you, I wish I could use hair products. That would be nice, but I don't have any hair to use.
Well, I have a form of alopecia, so I don't have much hair myself on my head, but still, what I use for my scalp, it still matters.
So, Nathan, do you ever look at the labels of what you're putting on your face and on your body and on your head and stuff?
No, I just look at it and says, oh, this can do that. This can do that. I mean, it's good for this. I mean, this shampoo gives you extra shine or maybe extra volume. That's all I see.
Oh, there's something to give you extra volume? I could use that. but in my case, it's like I always look at the bottom shelf of the grocery store because that's where the cheap stuff is. And so I'll buy, shampoo that costs, $1 for 3 gallons kind of thing, and that sort of thing. And that can't be healthy for you.
And that's probably the 2-in-1 like body wash and shampoo. So you don't have to buy like 2 separate bottles, right?
How did you know? Golly, have you gone shopping with me? So it's really is vital. Now, by the way, how is your mom doing?
My mom ended up passing away. So metastatic breast cancer is when it is already metastasized and spreads throughout the body. So my mom passed away in 2014. And that really gave me the inspiration to really launch my makeup brand itself. So she's still with me.
She's looking down at you and saying, you go, girl. That's what you got to do.
Exactly. I have a daughter that was born a year after she passed away. That's named after her. So yes,
The legacy goes on.
goes on. It goes on.
That's really cool because you know it's your company. And by the way, we're talking with Kim Roxie, and it's Lamique Beauty. Go look it up, and you can buy the products online, and they're all hypoallergenic. Is that? That's a word I know, but I have no idea what it means. I know, but what does it mean?
You said it. Tested for allergies.
Oh, thank you. I could have just said that. That would have been easier. So you have things that are tested for allergies, and the products are designed to all be natural. And you work with, and I love the way you put that, a darker complexion person. And you work with them more specifically. Is that right?
Well, I just center us. So our makeup, all women of all shades can wear our products. So every woman, no matter your skin tone, can wear Lamique. So make sure you go to lamiquebeauty.com and take the quiz so you can find out which shade you need specifically for your brows. That's our hero product, our brow kit. But as a dark-skinned woman, I include us. I don't know if people know it or not, but not a lot of makeup brands, huge makeup brands, actually don't even carry shades that fit my complexion. They stop at probably about 4 shades lighter than me. So I don't know if people know that, but that's what's happening in the beauty industry every day.
Nobody knows that. Why would they stop?
Good question, Kevin. Let's ask him.
Nathan, could you get the or what is it, Mary Bell or whatever it is,
Maybelline?
That's it, Maybelline. If that's how educated I am about
Maybelline, L'Oreal, Suave, Head and Shoulders.
Oh, Suave, that's the one that I buy for $1 for 3 gallons of shampoo.
Yeah, go to Target.
That's exactly right.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I have less choices in what makeup I can wear. So even if they carry like different eyeshadow shades, the eyeshadows sometimes are not pigmented enough. That means they have enough color to show up on my skin tone. So that's some of the issues that we have within the makeup industry. But at Lamique, you don't have that issue.
That's really cool. Talk to us about the brow quiz. How does that work?
Yeah. So you just answer about 5 questions. And through those questions, there's logic behind it. And so when you finish answering those 5 questions, it will recommend the right shades that you need for your eyebrows. So it's no guessing. And there is a brow powder that comes in it, and then a concealer. So you take the brow powder, you put it on your eyebrows, you brush it in your brows, kind of like how you would brush something into your hair on your head or anything like that. You brush it into your brows. It just makes them look fuller or makes them even them out or do that kind of thing. And then after that, you take the concealer that's in the compact and you put it underneath your eyebrow arch, and it'll sort of make your eyebrows kind of stand out. It's like an instant eye lift, and it comes inside of that brow. It's called the Revelation Brow Duo, and it comes with the brow powder and the concealer. But you take the quiz, and then the quiz will tell you the right one you need.
By the way, Kim has been in the industry for, I'm guessing, 20 years or so, somewhere in there.
Yeah, like since college. So yeah, 20 years.
And so she's got a lot of information. And if you happen to be a woman or someone who dresses like a woman, and you want to ask her questions about makeup tips and how to find the right shade for things and how to dress yourself up, you can certainly give us a call. And Nathan's going to give you the numbers right now. Sure.
Just give us a call at 425-373-5527. Also have a toll-free line at 1-888-298-5569.
It is really cool to have you here, Kim, because I'm really nowadays it's really important to have natural products, because a lot of people don't realize, and I want to point this out to folks, is like if you're trying to quit smoking, you can get a nicotine patch, and you put the nicotine patch, you don't eat it, you put it on your shoulder or on your arm or something, and the reason why it works is because the nicotine is absorbed through your skin into your bloodstream. And by the way, so any product that you put on your body or on your face is absorbed through the skin and ends up in your body, in your bloodstream, and can affect your organs and can do all sorts of things, which is why they're finding out that some of these products cause cancer, although they don't want to. There are no studies that are being done, to my knowledge. Now, Kim, maybe you can correct me, but I don't believe that there are any studies by the Food and Drug Administration or anybody else that is looking at carcinogens that are in the products that we use to make ourselves look all pretty and stuff. Is that true?
The thing about it is that we're using it to look good, to feel good, because when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, most of the time you want to look good. Like, that's a part of it. And if the products are not good for you, it sort of like defeats the purpose, right? And so there has been like independent studies from like the EWG or different colleges have done stuff, but there needs to be way more research and connection between it. I mean, there's a documentary that's out right now, docuseries that's out right now called Not So Pretty, that's on HBO Max, that talks about this very thing that we're talking about right now. And they go really deep and in depth. And they have 4 different segments, I believe it is. One is on hair, skin, makeup, nails. And once you watch that, you cannot unwatch it. Like, you cannot unlearn what you learn in this documentary. It's kind of like how a lot of people stop eating animal fat at a certain time because after they watch a certain documentary. This one kind of reminds you of that, where if you watch this documentary, you literally will be like, oh, I've had people say to me, oh, I'm calling because I just watched that documentary on HBO Max, Not So Pretty, and I need new makeup.
I'm just curious, why do you think that there's so little studies? Is it because it's classified as like a cosmetic product, so it's like maybe wearing clothing or something like that? I mean, it's nothing that you really use for your health, and then also it doesn't. Oh, lost my train of thought for a second.
But it doesn't. I was about to answer your question though. Why you
I remember my second one. Sorry.
Okay.
Or is it because it's just like an optional thing? You don't have to use makeup. I mean, there's like completely no benefit to it whether you use it or not. I mean, other than looking good, like a cosmetic. So is that why you think maybe there's not really much like of a department or administration for it?
Well, I have my thoughts around why it's not. And a lot of it has to do with capitalism. Because the beauty industry is very lucrative. And it's pretty, and we even think about the need of it, it's pretty recession proof. So it actually is not even like a commodity, is something that a lot of people use and need and want. And so to the thought around it just being cosmetic and something that you put on so it's not regulated, it doesn't have any like what's regulated is things that have like active ingredients in it, drugs, that kind of thing. So if you have a sunscreen product, that's more so even regulated because it has like an active ingredient in it. Anything you get like from the dermatologist or anything like that is actual pharmaceutical, that kind of thing. If you take a makeup product and then you put some type of pharmaceutical drug in it, whether it be to stop you from to take away blemishes or anything like that, then that part is regulated, right? To your point around just something you put on, it's not regulated. But people have been fighting for a long time for it not to be regulated. And again, I think that has a lot to do with capitalism. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that things have been this way so long and people have capitalized on all of this. watch the documentary. I think you'll understand real good. You watch that, you'll see.
Well,
You'll
I'll tell you, and for the more cynically minded of us, I would tell you that the reason that is because there's no money in it. It costs money to do studies. It costs money to do research, and to make sure that everybody, all the products. I mean, there are, when you look at you know better than I do, but there are literally thousands of different ingredients that goes into some of these products, and they would have to go and research every one and do studies on. They're not going to. They don't have the money to spend on that sort of thing. Am I too cynical, or is that in the documentary?
Well, I think that also. I don't think you too cynical. I think that yes, it does cost, but I think that there's just certain ingredients that maybe we should leave out that there are alternatives to. So it wouldn't be a situation where you would turn and flip the makeup industry upside down just by regulating. So what we're talking about is just like certain ingredients that a lot of people who are making products now are just not even using. But if you do go, unfortunately, Kevin, in places like some of the lower end drugstores and look for products, they still are in there because they're just so cheap, and just like people don't care and this kind of thing. Even though, don't get me wrong, there are high end products that are very expensive that have some of the same ingredients as these very cheap products. But there are so many makeup brands. I think 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the ingredients that we don't use are probably be commonplace in the makeup industry, because it's going to turn that way, because Gen Z, millennials already are paying attention more. And then Gen Z, they care. So it's just, like, I think in the next 5 to 10 years, what we're saying, no talc, no parabens, that'll be like, to be honest, common stakes for the industry, because it's being driven by the consumer right now. The consumers are standing up and saying something, even though federally it might not be regulated.
Well, then there again, it's the supply and demand. If you put something in a product and people recognize that it's not good for you and you don't buy it, they won't put it in there anymore.
That's exactly how it goes. And that's what's happening right now. That's what you're noticing what's happening. And that's how things are being pushed now. So the people are talking up, and that's, to your point, that's the response.
So I'm just wondering, why are they putting like talcums and parabens, and what's the purpose? Is it to maybe make coloring, or is it to make the product last longer, stay on your skin longer? Is it to keep costs lower? What's the main reason, and what are you trying to find alternatives like for in that way?
That's a good question. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Yes. So the parabens are like a preservative. So you put that in the product to make it last longer. So that's what that was for. And that's another thing too. People need to know that makeup and personal care products, this is for guys too. This is really a universal conversation, the whole thing. So just think grooming products are not to last all your life until you use it all up. Okay. You are supposed to get rid of anything that especially gets water in it or something like that. You should not be keeping that. Sometimes 3 months, sometimes nothing over a year. Sometimes, you go in the bathroom, you got stuff in there, you've been having it for 5 years. You're like, oh, I'm not done with it yet.
Yeah, like colognes, they have an expiration date on colognes. They only last maybe a year to 2 years, and then it goes, I wouldn't say bad, but I mean, it loses its effectiveness.
Well, it does go bad. It goes bad. It loses effectiveness. The efficacy of it is not like you should get rid of it. Mascara, you should get rid of every 3 months. So it's like different products, different things. You just should get rid of them. So, but parabens is a preservative, just what that is. And then as far as like talc, that is like a powder. Using that as powder is color. Using that as a way they would put pigment with the talc, and that's how you make like a powder that you put on to stop shine on your face and that kind of thing. And also like even out the skin tone, you would take and use that. But again, there's alternatives you can use instead of those particular products, because the research has shown that it's being linked to different health concerning things. So yeah, those are the reasons why. But yeah, I want to bring that up. And then something else I want to bring up, Kevin, is on the black market, we call it the dark side. There is counterfeit makeup and counterfeit grooming products.
Really?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So if you have buy something on, I won't say a particular website, but we know these big websites that you just buy stuff from looking for a deal. You need to check the authenticity of the seller that you're buying it from, because you could be buying counterfeit grooming products that then have worse ingredients in them, particularly worse. And there has been, and I know for a fact, people go to the bursting room and all that kind of stuff behind different toxic, very toxic things that are inside this counterfeit stuff. So just be mindful of that. If you see something on the internet and it's a particular name brand of a product, but Joe is selling it, but it's by this main brand manufacturer, but Joe is selling it on this site, I would question if Joe has the authorization to be really selling those products, or is he selling something else?
So he could be selling counterfeit products and those products, I assume, are much cheaper for him to buy, but he can mark them up to what the name brand pricing would be, but it doesn't have the same ingredients in it, so it costs less for him to make. And he's not particularly careful about what's in it because he doesn't really care, because he just wants you to buy whatever it is.
Well, it's kind of like when you buy a counterfeit purse or counterfeit wallet, right? It's not real, right? But that's what they're doing with makeup and grooming products.
That's just amazing. By the way, we're talking with Kim Roxie. She is the CEO and head bottle washer of the company that she calls Lamique. And you can go to her website, which is Lamique, and I'll spell that for you because it's spelled a little bit differently than it sounds. It's LAMIK beauty.com, and she's got tutorials. She's got you can take the brow quiz. She's got a shop. She's got all this stuff. And I wanted to ask you, well, when we come back from these breaks, I want to ask you about you and how you came to be doing what you're doing and the values that your company has and how you put it into practice. I also want to mention a podcast I did yesterday with a young lady that I want everybody to go to and listen to. It is probably the finest work I've ever done as a podcast with this young lady. I want to talk about that briefly, if that's okay with you, Kim. Can we do that too?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a break right now. You're listening to Positive Talk Radio on KKNW 1150 AM, and we'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Do you believe in the combination of brain work and spirituality? Her grace and sense of humor have made Allison Roberts highly sought after. She's a cognitive behavioral expert with natural intuition. Allison has guided thousands of people all over the world to find their internal power. Visit ALLYSONROBERTS.com for your free guided meditation today.
My name is Kevin McDonald, and I created Positive Talk Radio on KKNW 1150 AM. And if you like what we're doing here, evolving ideas one conversation at a time, we have so much more to offer you on positivetalkradio.net. Over 160 podcasts and growing. Great positive guests and many thoughts and ideas designed to help you and your family live life just a little bit better. You can even contribute to our work by becoming a member and receiving lots of cool stuff. Please check it out. I created PTR because now's the time for positive change, and nothing else matters. Again, visit positivetalkradio.net, and thanks for listening.
When you want to say more than words communicate, You can with flowers. Your custom boutique floral studio in Bothell, Washington is anaturaldesign.com, connecting you to nature through the language of flowers. Where your people are is where our flowers are beautiful. Your success is our goal. Now through New Year's Eve, here's your exclusive bonus for being our appreciated listener. Type in promo code Positive Talk Radio at checkout to receive $20 off your order. Our gift to you for being here with us today. anaturaldesign.com.
And welcome back to Positive Talk Radio here on KKNW 1150 AM. My name is Kevin McDonald. Over there is Nathan. I almost said it, Nathan. I almost said Nathaniel.
Oh, I had to get that buzzer ready. I don't. Oh, there it is. I see it's loaded up.
Aha.
But you never said it, so I don't have to press it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to give us a little demonstration.
Nah, you caught yourself.
I did. And we're talking with my Kim Roxie, and she's going to be on the podcast on Monday if you want to go there on Monday, I think at 2:00. And we're going to talk more in depth about this stuff. And you can see her beautiful complexion and her beautiful smile. And I'm just enchanted with you. You're just a wonderful human being. And I want to know, how is it that you became a wonderful human being?
Well, we got to talk to my mom and dad about that, and my grandmother. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead and blame somebody else. Go ahead.
Yeah. My grandmother's, my grandfather, and my great grandmother, who instilled a lot in me. She lived to be 100. Her 110th year. And while I was in college, I talked to her a lot because we lived in the same city at the time. I was just with my great aunt who's 90 years old last week. So I am a product of everything that they put inside of me. So that's how I got to be.
Well, you do realize that if you have a relative that was over 100 and another one that was over 90, I have bad news for you. You're not going away anytime soon. So you're going to be here for a very long time.
Yes. That's good to hear, because you know what? I like the way that they were able just to teach me a lot about my heritage, my background, and just the strength of the people I come from.
And where are you right now? Are you in Texas?
I'm in Houston. Yeah.
You're in Texas down there. How's life in Texas these days?
Kevin, why are you talking like that?
That's kind of I don't know. I'm sorry.
Like, what are you talking like? Why are you talking like that? It is still warm down here for sure.
Yes, indeed. Well, see, I may be the only traveling chicken salesman you've ever met. And I worked for a company out of Arkansas, and I traveled all down through the South and in through and looked at all the chicken houses and all the peoples down there and stuff like that. So I'm kind of mimic that, and I probably should do that because I probably get letters from somebody.
I know. They're like, who talks like that?
It's kind of a caricature of there was a guy that I worked with, and he was in Arkansas, and he was a good old boy. He's one of those guys that when we would go on sales calls, he would stop and get Bush Light, half case of Bush Light, and put it in the. I know that you see this, that they put it half a case of Bush Light, put it in the back seat, and then we'd go on sales calls all day, and then he would occasionally stop and use the ditch that was right there when he needed to. So I got a whole weird opinion of what happened with the good old boys in the South, that kind of thing. And he did talk just like that and stuff. So anyway, I digress because she's laughing at me. So,
oh my gosh, that was so funny. That was so funny.
But the sad thing is, it's absolutely true. I am not embellishing it at all. And so it was like, don't you have to? It was like when I went to Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
They have drive-through daiquiri bars.
Yes, they do.
And,
yes, they do.
And so what you do is you drive up to the liquor store, and they got a daiquiri bar that you can, have a strawberry daiquiri and a half case of beer and Busch Light, and Busch Light is very popular down there.
Yes.
And Busch Light, and I'll have some, give me a fifth of Jack Daniels too, and then you can put that all in your car, and then as long as you don't take the lid off the daiquiri, but there's a straw in there, so you can drive around and be drinking your daiquiri while you're driving around, and it's crazy down there.
Yeah, it is. It is. My husband is from Louisiana, so we know it very well. But oddly enough, I always try to look and see if it felt like they had more drunk drivers or something like that, but it really doesn't feel like they do. I don't know the data on it, but which is just interesting.
Yeah, I know. Well, my favorite story of Louisiana, and you can tell your husband this, was that when I was selling chicken one weekend, I had to spend the weekend in outside of Shreveport. And then a nice golf course there and stuff like that. And so I would play golf on Saturday and Sunday. And on Sunday, I got paired with a couple of local boys. And so I took the driver and I hit the ball and it hooked into the woods. And I'm in the Northwest. You can go and look in the woods for your ball, and that's perfectly okay, and nothing's going to happen to you. So they hit their balls, and then we started walking down the fairway, and I started walking over to where the ball went into the woods. And one of the guys said, I don't think I'd go in there if I was you. And I said, why? And he said, because something in there is going to eat you. Oh. So there's either going to be a snake or a tarantula or an alligator or something like that. So that's
the swamp.
Yeah. So everybody that's in Seattle right now, be thankful that you're living here, because we don't have any of that stuff, which is why I live here.
The only thing that really wants to eat us is mosquitoes.
Yes. And
I was about to say, I started my year off in Seattle.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time while you were here?
I did. I had a good time while I was there. Actually, it didn't rain at all while I was there, which was so funny, because I just was like expecting it. I was like, oh, it's going to rain any minute. We were just like, it never rained, which was so funny. And we were there for about 3 or 4 days. And so, but we had a good time. We sort of went around, great nature out there and all that kind of good stuff. Some really cute shops that I went to. I had a good time. I love to travel. I love different spaces. I love meeting different people. So for me, travel is almost like self-care.
It really can be. If you enjoy travel and seeing people and different styles of food and what people do and stuff like that. I love to go, when I was traveling, I would love to go to the local bar. Not the one that the tourists went to, but the ones where the people that actually live there went to. And so then I'd get to sit there and watch people. But I just wanted to say, Kim, make sure that when you go back down to Houston, tell everybody it rains a lot here. It's crappy. You don't want to live here. You don't want to move here. And we don't have any jobs here for you. So stay in Houston.
I'm trying to see, are you not recruiting for people to come to Seattle? Is that what you're saying, Kevin?
I got out of I'm kind of retired now, so I spend a lot of time in my home. And yesterday I was going to go meet a friend, and we were going to have dinner, and it was like 10 miles away. And so I said, well, I got 30 minutes. I'll get there a little early, and that'll be fine. It took me an hour to get from where I am to where I was going, and it was only like 10 miles. So it was during rush hour traffic. So we got enough. We got enough folks here. So, as a matter of fact, if you know of any great job openings in Houston, maybe you could hire some folks they could move from here to there. That would be good too.
Kevin, I don't know if you talked to the city of Seattle about this, but they may not like you to turn people from there. They might want more people there. They might be looking to grow the city.
Well, that could very well be. That could very well be. But but in any event, we're talking with Kim Roxie, and you're just, by the way, you're just adorable, and I love your concept. I love the company. The name of the company again is Lemique, and you can go to lemiquebeauty.com, and you can find out all the information about her natural products that are not designed to hurt you. They're designed to work in concert with the planet, and you even call it an eco-chick vegan company dedicated to promoting environmental stewardship. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. It's all about you can be eco-conscious and eco-chic it can be chic without being sort of like, granola,
What's wrong with granola? I like granola. It's okay.
No, it's in a certain style, like crunchy granola. You can be chic and very like even luxurious or prestige and be eco-conscious at the same time.
Well, the products that you have that you present to people are very high quality, and they're all natural, and they're all vegan. So they're not going to hurt you. Like, and you have all your ingredients on your label and all that kind of stuff, so that people, you're transparent about what you do, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we're very transparent. That's why we say clean, because it's like, we come clean about what we're using, and so then that way too, if you do have an allergy, if there's something you can't use, you'll see it. So then you'll know not to use it. Like, it's not about the fact that, everything is for everybody. It's about being clean and coming clean about things, so then people can make the proper choices.
Now, are you finding that more and more people are looking to using natural products and vegan products more and more? And so that would mean that your business is growing?
Yeah, our business is growing because people are interested. People are like, look, if I can use something that doesn't put me at risk for other things that they've done research about, I'd rather just use that. And it's going to do, it's a lip gloss, and it's going to, be a gloss on my lips and do that, then perfect. Is it a blush? And it's, whatever it is, the brow product, like if it's going to do the same thing, but it's free of talc or free of paraben, sign me up. Why would I go get the one with parabens and talc in it and knowing what it's being linked to? It doesn't make any sense. So for people, they're just making that other choice because it just makes sense for them.
Isn't it amazing that women have been using talc for I don't know, decades, or a long time since it was first brought to the marketplace, and it took them a long time to find out, that's probably not that good for you.
Yeah, men and women, and to the documentary I referred to earlier, it's men and women in there that are suing these companies for using it. So, yeah.
You just grabbed my attention as a billiards player. In the past, they would always use talcum powder as a way to kind of make the stick glide more smoothly on your hand. And so they would use that to help their game. And now it makes me happy that I never went that route. And instead, I just use like a spandex glove.
Wow, that is such a great point. I grew up with a little pool table in my house. So absolutely. Like, it was men and women that are in that documentary talking about it. One of them is a guy, he was a doctor, and he was saying like how the big company was almost like a sponsor. Like, they would bring the products there. So he would always send those kids home with that talcum powder, those babies home with it, but he was using it too. And then, so yeah, absolutely. It could be so many different reasons why you're using it. That's such a great point, Nathan.
Did it make him sick?
Oh yeah. He's suing the company for getting sick from it.
Oh, what did it give him? What was his? I know what it can do to women in some cases, but
no, his is cancer too, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, brother. And what's it amazes me because cancer is continuing to grow and fester, and we're finding out more and more reasons and more causes for it. And my brother died. My brother died of stage 4 lung cancer, and and of course he was a smoker, but more and above that, he was also a roofer. And so the asbestos that they used to put on roofs, and he would tear off the roofs and stuff, and that's a killer right there.
Yes. I'm so sorry to hear that. And when the environmental phase of it all, like, and even this whole conversation around it has to do with that from the environmental, we're talking about it from like beauty and stuff like that. Cause like they were even looking at the nails and the environments of some of the nail shops and the risk that it caused, or hair salons or barbershops, and the risk that it costs the professional. So to your point of your brother, that's where that professional gets caught up in that environmental standpoint around this and what could make them sick.
Exactly. Can I tell you a story real quick?
Sure, Kevin.
Wow, thank you very much. I don't know why I do that. I should.
You and this character, we have to give this character a name, because this character, the way he just jumps out of you, and it's just, I don't know if we should call him McDonald, because that's what it sounds like, but I don't know.
Well, it could be old McDonald, EIEIO, and that's who I am. But EIO is had is done, dude. But in any event, yesterday I had the opportunity to interview, and we're talking about this, and I interviewed a gal by the name of Daisy Page, and she's written the book Unexpected Moments, and she is, and this is a really important episode because she's like 5 months away from dying. She's got a terminal disease that was an autoimmune disease. They don't know how she got it, but and she talked about her life and all the things that she'd gone through, and she's written this book called Unexpected Moments, and it's about her entire life. And then before she goes to heaven, she's got another book that she's finishing up that's called Gates of Heaven, and she's going to be putting that out in the next 3 months. And I just wanted to alert people that is going to be on positivetalkradio.net. Right now you can go watch it on YouTube, Positive Talk Radio, and it really is. My sister listened to it twice because she thought it was
wow. It
was a really good interview. So I just wanted to make sure that I got that out, because it was and my honor to be able to talk with her. And she's got 3 kids and a husband, and she's had lots of issues in her life, but she's only got 5 or 6 months to live. But she treats it like it's like, I'm sure that she treated it like, well, when my time is up. And I hope that she had such courage about it. So I encourage you to go listen to that.
Well, she's like extremely generous too.
Yes.
Because, that's like very unselfish of her. One, to be like getting writing this book, like trying to get that out, like, coming to talk to other people, share, like, like she could be doing something else. And she decided to do that. So like, that's also like a very generous, I got to listen to that one.
And I want to thank you, because what you're doing is you're helping women avoid some of the things that can shorten their lives and cause cancer. And I think we're going to find down the road that makeup and what we put on our body, and even the clothes that we wear, the polyesters that we use, the different chemicals that are in all of that, I think that we're going to, 100 years from now, people are going to say, I can't believe they did that kind of stuff, because it's crazy. And because I'm sorry, you got me going again. But you know what I mean? Because I think that, and you are on the cutting edge of finding a different way. And I want to thank you for finding a different way that it can be more helpful to people, and people of color.
Yeah. Not leaving anybody out of it, or abandoning certain people. Most definitely. And that's, that's just a part of my mission and purpose. And so we'll continue. And the more we grow, the more resources we get, the more opportunities we get, we can continue to scale that. So, yeah.
Well, you're an incredible lady, and I want to thank you very much for coming here and talking with us today. You're also a lot of fun, and it's fun to laugh with you.
Yeah, I love to laugh. I think it's like the best exercise for your face, but I love to just experience joy. And, I think that the being present is really important. And so you are a character, and I have to be present for this show. So
yes, you do, because it might just slip right on by.
So I had a good time here, and I'm so happy. Like, to be honest, you guys were the best ones to do the interview, you and Nathan, because you know what? Like my daughter, sometimes I have her on some of my live shows that I do when I'm explaining the makeup, because she's 6 years old and she's been doing this since she was 4. She asks me questions that seem like, how they have those books, this for dummies, whatever for dummies.
Right.
And to be honest, from a child's point of view, if they ask something, most of them, they're asking something that people don't know, and they're just not ashamed to ask. So talking to you guys, to be honest, even though it might feel like makeup, but you guys probably ask the questions that are the most simple, like seem, like simplistic, but they're actually right on point for people to learn. So thank you.
Well, at one time I was actually a married person, and my wife would come home and I'd say, "You spent how much on that?" "Well, but dear, it has to be this, and we got to have it this way, and it's like, well, okay, I guess, and that's a woman thing." But
and Kevin, I have a confession too. I've worn makeup before.
Oh, well, well, thank you for bringing.
No judging.
No judging.
Well, let's just get to the point here. It was for a stage play, and it was one of those where you have to stand still. It's not like you're moving around, so like the picture is even more important then. So, they're putting on things like little red dots between the nose and the eyes to help with the glare, and eyeliner as well. And also it's kind of like set in the Middle East, so I had to put on like a darker tone foundation and like the fake tan and stuff. So I have worn makeup, but for those purposes.
You're a celebrity is basically what you're saying. You're famous.
Yeah. He's famous and tall. That's what he is. No, I agree with you, because one time, when I was an actor, when I was in college, I did Lazar Wolf the Butcher from Fiddler on the Roof. "Reptavia, come here, Reptavia. I want to buy your daughter." Anyway, and he was, and so I had to put on the spirit gum, and I had to put on a beard and the makeup and all that stuff. So yeah. And so for us, we use it too. And I had a friend who swore he didn't, but his eyebrows just look too good, I have to say. So anyway, but we're going to run out of time, and I want to give Kim the opportunity to tell our audience anything that you would like them to know, Kim, about anything at all. We got about a minute and a half.
I just like for them to know, continue to honor themselves. Please, if you have any questions around beauty products, grooming products, reach out to us. We're on all social media platforms at Lamik Beauty, LAMIK Beauty. But continue to honor yourself and know that, your life has purpose, and you're beautiful in the beautiful body that you came in. And I hope to see you soon.
That is a beautiful way to end the show, and I want to thank you very much for that, because in my humble opinion, whether you're a man or a woman, we are all one. We all come from the same place, and we all deserve the same things. We deserve to be happy. We deserve to have kindness around us, and we deserve to be loved. And I really thank you for being here. It is it's remarkable to meet people like you, because you're actually out there doing it and you're helping people. And your company mission is all by design to do that, and I think that's just amazing. And thank you. So it's really good. Nathan, do you have any other questions that you'd like to ask real quick before we go?
I was just kind of reflecting on what we were saying about us wearing makeup, and there are more men out there than you think that do wear makeup, especially like TV anchors, or if they're on screen, on stage, they're going to be wearing some sort of makeup, man. It's not just for women.
Correct. No, they have to because
absolutely.
They have to. And as an example, if I was on TV, I would have to wear makeup on the top of my head to keep my little shiny head from blinding the camera. So, in any event, Kim Roxie has been our guest, and I want to thank her very much for being here. And go to LamiqueBeauty.com and find out all the information that you need to about her. And by the way, on Monday, Tommy Tika is going to be here. We're going to continue our series about his music and the Born Free album that's designed there to help the planet. So I hope that you'll pay attention to that, and I'll see you Monday at 9 a.m.